side. Well, look at the bright side. Maybe watching this first Boss Baby 2 won't be so bad when we go see it later on. Or were you just really confused because you didn't see the first Rock Dog movie? Although, I've seen the first Rock Dog movie, and you haven't, and you put it together quicker than I did that the villain in this movie was the villain in the other one. Like, Rock Dog says to him, like, "It's you!" And you go, like, was he the bad guy in the first one? I go, I honestly do not remember who the villain was in the first movie when it was made 5 years ago. And 5 years later, we have Rock Dog 2, Rock Around the Park, 5 years in the making, which means for more than 4 years they probably didn't do much, and then in a couple of weeks they animated this movie
right, yeah,
and put it out on video.
This literally felt like it was pieced together in a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's pieced together from several different things. One, the whole movie is like watching a movie equivalent of that meme shot of Steve Buscemi in a high school going, "Hello, fellow teenagers." I mean, I should know these things. Look at how I'm dressed. I'm all about picking up on really, really dated things.
Right.
But it is also every rock and roll movie you've ever seen, every dance movie you've ever seen, even throwing in superhero elements into the film. So the movie is set a month after the events of the first movie, where Rock Dog, the way that it's portrayed here, he's about to become the biggest thing on MySpace. Everything about the slang, the way that they're dressed, the music that they're doing, it's like somebody was in a coma for about 20 years, woke up out of it, they don't realize they're 50 years old now, and they decide to make this movie for kids. Right at the concert at the beginning of the movie, where they're saying these terms in a way where they're talking like it's the first time they've ever heard the word, and then adding some really, really dated slang after it. So they're filming these two fans are filming a Rock Dog concert. They go, "I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this on my video blog." No way! Oh, way! And then they do, and within seconds it gets up to like 500,000 views. So by the time this movie is over with, they don't really even need an agent. That video's got to have like 1 trillion views at this point. Right. Rock Dog's got to be like the biggest thing ever. It has those same two characters whenever Rock Dog signs an autograph, and they pull out the "Rock Dog, no, we're not worthy. Right. We're not worthy. If you mess with the best, you die with the rest." Yeah. And that's only when it doesn't involve rock and roll puns, because there are more rock and roll puns in this movie than there were ice puns in Batman and Robin. It's constant. It is all
it really is
over. It is every other line in this film, and it got exhausting.
I mean, like, I don't know how versed you are in like rock history and everything, but the villain's alter ego Lang was actually a reference to Mutt Lang, the producer.
Yeah, the yak in the movie's name is Fleetwood Yak. Yeah. I mean, he was in the first movie too. So yeah, there's characters all over there. I mean, I love how they give again with this slang, they give Bodie, the main character, when he becomes a rock star, they give him the name Beady Bodacious. Because again, like I said, it's every rock and roll movie and every dance movie. The plot of the movie, I mean, there's a few different things going on here. One of which has to do with Bodie and his band getting signed to a major record label. So they're about to become superstars, and in doing this, he's going to sell out. He's going to become a jerk. He's going to lose his friends until he realizes that the manager who signed him is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Literally. Literally, the villain is a sheep, and then he takes off the mask, and he's a wolf. In case you don't get that, he says it in the dialogue. They don't even know I'm like a wolf in sheep's clothing. when they're not saying, well, I get no satisfaction. Hey, is it breakfast time? Time for some jumpin' jack flashbacks.
Right.
Or flapjacks. Oops, sorry. I don't want to soil the amazing puns in this movie.
Right.
What do we paint the bus? Oh, we paint it black.
Don't stop believing.
Oh, don't spoil the ending. That was the final one, where they throw out the Journey reference because they must have run out of Rolling Stones titles at this point, because 80% of the million rock and roll puns in this is the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Sometimes Johnny Rivers.
I can't get no satisfaction.
Yeah. Sometimes Johnny Rivers, when Dad comes in and says, like, oh, I got the rockin' pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu. I'd better lie down a little bit. And the first one wasn't good, but I mainly just remember the first one being slightly below mediocre. Like, It was wildly forgettable. I don't remember it being as, like, outlandishly bad as, say, like, Norm of the North or something like that. But, I mean, it wasn't good. This is way worse.
I think the problem with it is that, like, the first time they did it, we were thinking, okay, that was just a one-off bad joke. But then this movie continues to do it and just, like, pound it into the ground as...
It's every kind of dated joke. It is, because it also has to do with the wolf wanting to shut down Rock and Roll Park, like it's a rock and roll band version of Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, right, where he wants to shut down the park where all the rock musicians hang out, but in doing so, he's making a lot of money in this scam because he's also doing a benefit concert for the same thing. That way, the superhero plot can come in which he turns Rock Dog into Elvis, and then traps him in a booth where the supernatural power of rock that comes from his guitar is enclosed in this little dome that he has. That way the villain now has the magical power of rock and roll that he traps all the animals in the park so that they can all turn into zombies. This shit is making Blues Brothers 2000 look like a documentary.
That's literally what happens in this movie. That was just... holy moly.
And then pieced together with classic bits like a clothes-changing montage.
Oh, yeah.
The clothes-changing montage where they're giving Rock Dog a new look. The makeover where Rock Dog will come out wearing something, cut over to the manager who just goes, cuts out next, comes out as Elvis. Perfect. or how about even things I know, like, when the British bus... Like, I would have expected to have seen this in that stupid America, the motion picture that we watched the other day.
Yeah, right?
When the British bus pulls up and it puts the music riff in there that goes... I'm like, wow, I haven't seen that since Oh Heavenly Dog. Maybe that's why they're bringing this back. A dog movie so bad, maybe you'll go, you know what, Oh Heavenly Dog wasn't that bad. It was still a murder mystery.
Well, and to America's defense, those writers only knew one thing about the British, and that was that they say, hello,
governor. I think my favorite bit of slang that they throw in this movie is where the girl musician says to our main character, "Mastiff, please." I had to rewind it. I know. Did I hear what I think I just heard? Mastiff, please. Complete with the snap and everything.
Right.
And at least America, the motion picture, as bad as it was, I thought the animation was good.
Yeah.
This is boring to look at.
Oh, God, yes. Bland as hell.
Yeah.
All the extras look the same. Like, they literally just copied and pasted the same
I'm glad you picked up on that, too.
Oh, my God. Except for the one that's always in the shower.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
So this part of it I actually didn't mind. And I think they did this in the first one. I don't remember, but I think they did. Where there's a sheep in the movie named Carl, and the running gag is that a few times whenever something big happens, like a concert or Bodie leaving, and there's a crowd, then when that finishes, the sheep in the towel on his head, towel wrapped around him, just pops up and goes, whoa, what happened? Did I miss anything? And then they do that a few times, and I actually kind of liked that running gag, but then for the rest of it, he's just always there in the towel.
Yeah.
And at one point, he's in the shower. It shows him actually in the shower when an avalanche happens that wipes out the town, but Carl is in the shower. So Rock Dog's dad has to go and risk his own life to pull Carl out of the shower.
Yeah.
And it makes you think for a while that his dad died in this avalanche by slow motion throwing Carl across the bridge.
Right.
And I hope to God that the dad died. I was sitting there going like, I hope he's dead, just for like your stock cliched parent dies in an animated movie thing, but if it's from something so stupid, like a running gag with the sheep who's always in the shower, I would be like, bravo, this is the dumbest way I've ever seen an animated parent die in a movie. But no, he's just got like a broken leg. Congratulations, Carl, your conscience is clean. And the backgrounds are all pale.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing on the walls.
Yeah.
The backgrounds we have on this show are more interesting than what they're
sticker
doing
in the back
this film.
window.
Yeah, and this shadowing right here that's been driving my ADHD crazy this whole time.
I just mentioned the sticker because a few commenters have mentioned the sticker in the back window.
Are they at the airport?
What I did like about it was the drummer.
Yeah.
The character of the drummer, not because I'm a drummer, but because this character actually kind of resonated with me. I loved his like goofy, like short-term memory, like guys, I'm sorry. He'd be like, sorry for what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, it's okay, bro. You know, I liked it. I resonated with that character. I was like, yes.
Well, we also forgot to mention one other side character, which was the sidekick of the villain, who's that like Nazi doctor, who's the one with the goggles and the old like mad scientist suit that's building the machine that's gonna harness the rock power and turn them into zombies. So yeah, he's sitting there going like, to be very soon, mein Führer. Like he's only in it a couple times, but it was enough for me to notice. I would give it. This movie didn't annoy me as much as America the Motion Picture did.
Really?
But it still annoyed me. Like, because of the puns, because of the wildly dated references throughout this entire movie. Yeah, that was annoying. But after 20 minutes or a half hour, it just got kind of boring. Like, I got used to it and wasn't that mad. But I was fighting staying awake during this. There was a couple times where I almost fell asleep.
Yeah.
America the Motion Picture like consistently annoyed the shit out of me throughout it, but the animation was better in that movie, whereas this one is just so bland to look at, and it's so weird that this movie even exists anyway, that there's a Rock Dog 2. I'll give it a D because I like Carl the sheep. He was always in the shower and missing things.
Was that a running gag in the first one?
It probably was, but I don't even remember the villain from the first one, who was the villain in this movie too. Right, so, yeah, that Carl the sheep was probably in the first one too. But we look like we just finished a rock concert. We're sweating so bad.
Yeah, it's surprisingly hot in this garage.
Oh my god. So we're gonna go upstairs and get some freaking spritz, man.
Hug the AC.
Yeah. All right. Take care. See ya.